So by now, I think you have heard about what happened with Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel, who had his very successful late night show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, has now been suspended indefinitely by ABC. They are not going to air Jimmy Kimmel. Why? Well, after Charlie Kirk passed, he made some comments during a monologue that they said were offensive, and they decided to cancel his show. But it's deeper than that. They got pressure from the FCC chairman saying that ABC's license would be revoked if they didn't fire Jimmy Kimmel or take his show off the air or something like that, or if Jimmy Kimmel didn't apologize. Well, instead of doing some sort of half-hearted apology or something like that, they just chose to end the show, at least indefinitely. He may get his show back down the road. But now we're also hearing that Sinclair Media, which owns a bunch of ABC affiliates, has decided that they are going to run reruns of Charlie Kirk in the spot where Jimmy Kimmel was at. Now, I think that's going to backfire spectacularly. But we'll have to see, I guess. But this is just a step toward losing our First Amendment rights, freedom of speech and freedom of the press. You are supposed to be allowed to say whatever you want as long as it is not an immediate threat to somebody, things like that. And of course, you can't yell fire in a crowded theater, those kind of things. But this was a comedian doing a set, and he was making a joke. And if you watch the actual clip of what he said, the bulk of what he was doing was making fun of Donald Trump, because when asked about how he was holding up after Charlie Kirk's passing, Donald Trump said, "Well, I'm doing okay, I guess. Oh, but look, they're starting the construction on my ballroom." That was effectively his line. He showed the clip of Donald Trump saying that. And he was going after Donald Trump for not really having much emotion about Charlie Kirk and moving it on to something about himself. Now, as Jimmy Kimmel has lost his spot, this is the second big late night personality to lose their job because they said things that Donald Trump didn't like or that went against this administration, something like that. Which is funny coming from the right, who screams about cancel culture and how it's so horrible that we have cancel culture, but they are so quick to cancel people. But one thing they're not realizing is by going after Kimmel, by going after Colbert, when the left is back in control, when the Democrats are in control, what is to stop them from going after Fox News, OAN, or Newsmax? They didn't think that far ahead. Now, hopefully, we don't have to worry about it because the Democrats won't actually take that step. But this does set up a bad precedent.